Go ahead. State your name and your 3 minutes will begin.
Yeah, my name's Sean White. I live in Chubbuck, and I've come to discuss the assessment of my home. I had the chance to meet with Lenita earlier, I think a couple weeks ago or last week. My home is currently assessed at around $458,000. Well, to be exact, $458,028. The direct comparable sales of similar larger homes in the immediate neighborhood demonstrate that this assessment significantly exceeds what I believe to fair market value, and take my comparables from last year, from 2024. Now, my calculated per square foot value is based off of including the value of the property in there as well. It's my understanding that the assessment uses just the value of the home to calculate the per square footage, but my assumption is that generally speaking in the neighborhood where I'm at, all the lots are pretty similar in size, from about 0.18 to 0.25 acres. So I don't think that there's a much variance in the value of the property there. So just kind of comparing apples to apples there. The most compelling, I believe, comparable is just down the street, which sold last year for $403,860 at $137 per square foot. The home is 2,936 square feet, which is very similar to my home at 2,900 square feet. I think I'm right on 2,950. Right down the street from mine, I live on 785. This is 714 Brundage. This home was recently updated with newer flooring, kitchen finishes, and modern paint features that give it a higher market appeal. Relative to my property, I did update my home, but it was built in '88. This one was built in '95. I believe you guys apply a factor so that it valued it around 1995 time frame, even though my home was built in '88. So I did receive that factor already. I'm considering this into the value of my home. Another comparable would be 4691 Misty Avenue at 2986 square feet, sold for $365,000. That puts it at $322 per square foot. Granted, like I said, this is including the value of the property in there as well, or the acreage. This home also had updates including a newer roof and partial bathroom remodels. Again, features that increase value beyond what my home currently offers, or not currently, but will offer. I'm actually currently in a remodel right now. And then 5440 Shenandoah, which is at 3147 square feet, sold for $441,000, which would be $140 per square foot. This home was built newer than mine and included modern features like granite countertops, which mine does not have, and upgraded landscaping, which my home does not have currently. These homes sold for an average price per square foot of $133 per square foot, which applied to my home would support a market value of around $390,000, not $458,000. I believe this said, there we go.
Well, there's your time. Thank you. Any questions from the assessor? Any questions from? No, there's plenty. Okay, assessor, we'll turn time to you.
This property parcel number is RPRCMTP003400. Yeah, it sits at 785 Moran Drive. I did look over the appellant's comparables. A couple of them are 2 stories. One is a ranch style, so that's probably why I didn't pull them in on my comparable sheet. I just was kind of going more for split entry homes. His is built in 1988, has about 2,933 square feet finished, comes in at $131 per square foot. Comparable number 1, split entry, just like the subject, built in 1988, about 2,067 square feet, comes in at $157 per square foot. Another comparable number 2 is split level, about 2,168 square feet finished, $161 per square foot. And comparable number 3, split level, 1986 build, 2,004 square feet, comes in about $155 per square foot. So we were just taking the fact that last year he did have an addition to his home, and then that additional square footage was a factor in this year's assessment. Obviously, would be included in that, so. If you look at the overall prices per square foot on the comparables, and it shows him just under the lowest one at 155. And at the value of 453, 492, it looks like he's right in where he needs to be with those comparables. A couple of them, you know, Washburn's not that far away from him. Hancock is the same year built. It just happens to be, it's in the same market area, it's just in a different neighborhood. So I would just ask that the 2025 value be upheld for this assessment year.
Okay. From the commission, any questions? One thing that I struggle with the assessor's comparables is, again, I understand similar market area, but he's used 2 or 3 right from within the same neighborhood.
But they're different styles of home.
So that's a question, and I understand the different styles. How much value is there difference between a split entry and a single level?
A 2-story?
Or, yeah, 2-story and a single
Well, it's
level.
just, you only have a couple levels on that one usually, where the other one would be multiple levels and have a little bit, I would think, more.
Right, but is there a substantial difference in a market valuation other than square footage? I mean, does someone want to pay more for a 2-story house of, say, 3,000 square feet versus a single-story home of 3,000 square feet?
I wouldn't know that.
Depends what your age is.
Yeah, true,
Depends if you want to go up the stairs or not.
Yeah.
True.
Can I
Yes,
Can I
sir.
speak? Also, I would note that those homes are smaller than mine. Generally speaking, when you buy a smaller home, the price per square footage goes up, right? Those are all 2,000 square foot approximate homes comparables that you provided, whereas my comparables were closer to 3,000. Price per square footage goes substantially down as you get bigger in the home. Generally speaking, and
Super similar in your belt.
I'm somewhat conflicted on yours. I think you did a great job providing good information, so thank you for that. Questions?
No, I mean, the land value, it's fairly close, but it hasn't gone up since '22, which value of land itself, I mean, selling prices. And we've held steady for basically 3 years.
would be 2 years, correct, based on the comparables of 2024?
Well, 2022 was 69,000 through this year.
But your assessment is on through 2024, right?
It's
Correct.
to January, yes.
Yeah. So it'd be 2 years.
But it's January
Sure.
the following year, so it's 21, or 22, but it's 21's. 22 is 21's evaluation.
It's just confusing.
Yeah, I got you.
Commissioner, you have anything?
I'm just as conflicted with this, because I can see the split level comps that you use, and yet I have to, you did a great job of providing some there as well too, so I can see both sides of this one very easily.
Well, like I've done the last 3 years, I look at what the market analysis says, and there's one that's below. Zillow is below, which surprises me. Rather, the common's above. And so that's where some of my conflict comes in, is it supports both sides as well, so. But he did provide us with a modicum of evidence, a preponderance of evidence that would support his claim. So where do we want to go?
But I also recognize the efforts of the assessors in getting some good comps there as well too, that are similar, just as similar as the others.
What was the median between the two?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Why don't we go 425 and call it good? Thoughts on that?
Make the motion.
I'd be good with that.
All right, I will. On parcel RCMTP 003400, I move that we make, or set the value at $425,000 with the value reduction coming off of the improvements. Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right,
Okay.
thanks for your time.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
thank you. And we will be at recess for